Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Daily English Buddy. I am Justine.
And I am Alex, and today we're talking about a massive grammar trap. We're talking about three phrases that look almost exactly the same, but mean completely different things.
Yes, today we are tackling the famous used to trap. It is honestly one of the most confusing grammar rules for intermediate learners. But do not worry, we are going to break it down and make it super easy.
Absolutely. And before we dive into the grammar, please remember to grab today's free PDF study guide from the description box below. It has all the grammar rules, the specific formulas, and a great practice quiz so you can review.
Please download it, because this specific grammar point causes incredibly embarrassing misunderstandings in the workplace. B1 learners mix these words up all the time, and it completely changes the meaning of what you are saying.
They really do. And I know this for a fact because I made the absolute worst possible version of this mistake. I completely humiliated myself in front of my boss during my very first week at a new job.
Oh, I have been waiting to talk about this story. This is a classic Alex communication disaster. Please, set the scene for our listeners. Where were you and what happened?
Okay, let me paint the picture. A few years ago, I got a fantastic new job at a very serious corporate office in London. It was my very first week, and I was just trying to settle in to my new environment.
Oh, let's pause there. Settle in. That is a fantastic phrasal verb. Listeners, to settle in means to become comfortable in a new place or a new situation, like getting comfortable at your new desk.
Exactly. I was trying to settle in. I was organizing my computer, drinking my morning coffee, arranging my pens, and just trying to look very professional. Then, my brand new boss walked into the room.
What was the new boss like? Was he friendly?
Not at all. He was a very traditional, very strict British man. He wore a perfectly ironed, expensive dark suit. He did not smile. He looked like he belonged in a movie about serious bankers. He was incredibly intimidating.
Oh, that is terrifying. The kind of boss who wants every single thing done perfectly, with absolutely no mistakes.
Exactly. He called me into his big glass office for a quick welcome meeting. I walked in and sat down in the leather chair across from his massive wooden desk. I was so nervous, my hands were actually shaking under the table.
It is always a terrifying experience speaking to a strict boss in your second language. Your brain just forgets all the vocabulary you spent years learning.
It is true. Your brain just freezes. So he looked down at my resume on his desk. He looked up at me over his glasses, and he asked a very standard corporate interview question. He said in a very deep voice, "Alex, the projects here require a massive amount of energy. Are you used to working hard?"
Okay, let's analyze that question. Are you used to working hard? That means, is working hard a normal, everyday habit for you? Are you completely accustomed to long hours and difficult tasks?
Right. I completely understood the meaning of his question. I knew I needed to give a strong, positive, confident answer. I wanted to tell him, yes, absolutely, working hard is completely normal for me.
But you didn't say that, did you, Alex?
No, I did not. Because I was stressed and trying to translate too quickly in my head, my English grammar completely broke down. I smiled very proudly, I looked him directly in the eye, and I loudly and confidently said, "Oh yes, sir, I used to work hard."
No, Alex, tell me you are joking. You said, "I used to work hard" to your strict new boss on your first week?
I did. I thought I was agreeing with him. I thought I was saying, yes, I am a hard worker. The words sound exactly the same.
But you told him the exact opposite. Listeners, saying I used to work hard means that you worked hard in the past, a long time ago. But you do not work hard anymore. You are essentially saying that you are lazy now.
Ugh, I know. I accidentally told my brand new boss, yeah, I was a fantastic worker 10 years ago, but these days I am totally lazy and I plan to do absolutely nothing in this office.
How did he react? Please tell me what his face looked like.
He just stopped moving. He slowly put his expensive pen down on the desk. He stared at me in complete, total silence for about 10 seconds. He looked so incredibly confused and disappointed. I could literally hear the clock ticking on the wall.
Oh, that is the absolute worst feeling in the world. 10 seconds of silence with a strict boss feels like an entire lifetime.
It was agonizing. Finally, he leaned forward and said, very slowly, "You used to. So you don't intend to work hard here?" And then, in a flash of terror, I realized my grammar mistake. I started panicking and waving my hands in the air. No, no, no. I am used to it. I am used to working hard. I promise.
Oh, poor Alex. What a nightmare. But honestly, that is the most perfect example of the used to trap. It is so incredibly easy to mix up those tiny words. But the meaning completely changes from I am a great worker to I am totally lazy.
It really does. It changes your entire professional reputation. So let's break this grammar down clearly for our B1 learners so they never make my terrible mistake.
Let's do it. There are 3 different phrases we need to look at today. The first one is the simple past habit. The formula is used to plus a normal base verb.
Right. Used to plus the infinitive verb. We use this specific phrase when we talk about a habit, a state, or an action that we did regularly in the past, but we definitely do not do it anymore. It is finished.
Exactly. For example, I used to smoke. That means I smoked cigarettes every day in the past. But I don't smoke now. I gave it up.
Oh, give up. That is a perfect, highly useful phrasal verb. To give up means to completely stop doing a habit, usually a bad one. I gave up smoking, so I don't smoke anymore.
Yes, or you could use it for sports or hobbies. I used to play tennis every weekend. That means I played tennis regularly when I was younger, but I stopped playing. I don't even own a tennis racket anymore.
So, going back to my disaster, when I said, I used to work hard, my boss literally heard, I worked hard in the past, but I gave up working hard. I stopped. I don't do it anymore.
Exactly. You basically announced your retirement from hard work on your very first day. So that is the first rule. Simple past habit. Used to plus base verb.
Okay, now let's look at the second phrase. This is the exact phrase I was trying to say to my boss, but I failed. Be used to.
Yes, to be used to something. This phrase means that something is completely normal for you. You are fully accustomed to it. It is not strange, it is not new, and it is not difficult.
Right. Notice the grammar. Because we add the verb to be at the start of the phrase, we conjugate it for the person. I am used to. She is used to. They are used to.
Yes, but here is the absolute biggest trap that catches language learners. After the phrase be used to, you cannot use a normal base verb. You must use a noun or a verb ending in ing, a gerund.
This is where everyone makes a mistake in their writing and speaking. You cannot say, I am used to wake up early. That is grammatically completely wrong.
Exactly. You must add the ing to the verb. You must say, I am used to waking up early, because waking up early is your normal habit. The word to here is a preposition, not part of an infinitive verb.
Or, to make it even easier, you can just use a simple noun. I am used to the cold weather. The cold weather is normal for me. I am from a cold country, so it doesn't bother me.
Right. So when your boss asked his question, he said, "Are you used to working hard?" He perfectly added the ing verb. He was asking if hard work was a normal situation for you.
And I should have replied, yes, sir, I am used to working hard. That tiny little am and that tiny ing at the end of the word changes the whole meaning of the sentence.
It really does. It is the difference between keeping your job and getting fired. Okay, so we have used to for the past habit. We have be used to for normal, everyday things. But what is the third phrase, Alex?
The third one is get used to. We use this phrase to describe the actual process of adjusting to something new. It means the situation is not completely normal yet, but it is slowly becoming normal.
Yes, the process of changing. I actually have a perfect story for this. When I first moved to London from my hometown, the culture shock was absolutely massive. Everything felt wrong.
Oh, culture shock is so real. What was the hardest thing to adjust to?
The weather, obviously, but also the tea. British people put milk in their hot tea. I thought it was completely disgusting at first. I couldn't drink it.
It is an acquired taste. So how did you survive?
Well, it was so cold and rainy, I decided to take up drinking British tea just to stay warm in the office.
Oh, take up. That is our second essential phrasal verb for today. To take up means to start a brand new hobby or a new habit. I took up tennis, or I took up drinking tea.
Exactly. So I took up drinking tea with milk. The first week, I hated it. But after a month, I told my friends, I am finally getting used to drinking tea with milk. It means the process was happening. It was becoming normal.
That is a fantastic explanation. And notice that the grammar rule is exactly the same. After get used to, we still must use an ing verb or a noun. Getting used to driving, getting used to running, getting used to the weather.
Yes, the ing is so incredibly important for both of these phrases. B1 learners always forget it, but native speakers hear the mistake instantly.
So let's do a super quick, clear review of the 3 traps before we test our listeners' memory.
Okay, rule number 1. I used to play. That is a past habit. I did it in the past, but I stopped completely.
Rule number 2. I am used to playing. That is a present reality. It is completely normal and comfortable for me right now.
Rule number 3. I am getting used to playing. That is the active process. It is new, it might be a little difficult, but I am currently adjusting to it.
Perfect. I think our listeners have got it. But there is only one way to be absolutely sure. It is time for the Buddy Rapid Fire Quiz. Listeners, play along with us.
Oh, I am so ready for this. Throw the questions at me, Alex. Let's see what you've got.
Okay, question 1. Justine, finish this sentence for me. When I was a young child, and the action is eat a huge amount of chocolate.
Oh, that is clearly a past habit that stopped. So it is, I used to eat a huge amount of chocolate.
Correct. No am, no getting, just used to. Okay, question 2. Finish this sentence. I just moved to a very noisy city and I can't sleep at night. I am not, and the noun is the noise yet.
Ah, the noise is a noun. You are talking about a situation that is not normal for you yet. So the answer is, I am not used to the noise yet.
Spot on. I am not used to. Okay, question 3. This is a strict grammar test. Which sentence is correct? Sentence A, I am used to wake up early, or sentence B, I am used to waking up early.
It is definitely sentence B. You have to use the ing verb. I am used to waking up early.
Yes, never ever forget the ing. Okay, final question. What phrasal verb means to start a brand new hobby or habit?
That is to take up. Like, I decided to take up playing tennis to get fit.
You aced it. A perfect score. And if our listeners want to ace their own grammar tests and sound completely natural, do not forget to download the free PDF study guide for this episode. The link is right there in the description box below the video.
Yes, please grab the PDF. It has all the grammar formulas and examples written down clearly so you don't get trapped. And before you go today, head down to the comment section and tell us, what is something you used to do as a child, but you don't do anymore?
I can't wait to read the comments. And remember, whatever you do, please don't tell your boss that you used to work hard. Subscribe to the channel for daily English lessons, guys.
Thank you so much for joining us on Daily English Buddy. Keep practicing your grammar, keep settling into your English journey, and we will see you next time.
Bye, everyone. See you tomorrow.